And I want to introduce our 2018 president, Mr. Carson.
It looks like we have a few new faces, so I just wanted to explain what DOCOMOMO is. DOCOMOMO stands for the Documentation Conservation of the Modern Movement, and our chapter aims to promote public awareness and education of the modern movement through the Hawaiian Islands. Don, can you please introduce our speaker for the evening?
Tonight, we're very fortunate to have Peter Shi has agreed to come in and talk to us. He is an architect and an engineer, and if you read our announcement, I made a mistake in that. I said that he went to RPI for engineering, which indeed he did. And then Michigan University, I said for architecture, but that's not true. He also went there for engineering.
Structural engineering.
But
just so you went, that's what counts.
So you were University of Michigan?
University of Michigan.
Not Michigan State.
No, not
And in a little bit, as we get into the talk story, he will explain how he became an architect as well. With that, I'll turn the floor over to you, Peter. I'd like maybe if you could start. I know you were born in China. And you want to start there and tell how you came to. Oh, one more important.
One more thing.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Yay.
So Don, listen, if I may add, you see that here with the video camera. This is part of what DOCOMOMO does. We document it, and for the historic record, our treasures, right? People who have contributed to the built environment here in Hawaii and the Pacific. So we're very honored to have you. And I just realized, I'm going to learn more tonight, that I grew up with some of your buildings. Salt Lake.
Salt Lake, yeah. Actually, it's interesting. I came to the States when I was 18 years old. I went to RPI to study, and then out of Michigan for structural engineering. I never studied architecture, but somehow I think architecture is a good profession. I asked my friend, what book do you study in the architect school? He said, I studied this book, that book. So I took off for 2 weeks and rented Holiday Inn at Detroit for 2 weeks, and I studied this book and that book. I think the exam is 3 days. And by the time the third day, when I draw the rendering, it's all crooked lines. Because I did not eat lunch, I did not eat dinner. I only had one apple. But my rendering probably not exactly straight. But anyway, the envelope came very thick. And then I know it's passed. So that's what I started. I never studied architecture, but architecture is my love. I really enjoy it. By being a structural engineer, I designed the bone. Now I know that outside flash is more interesting. Is this a gold bond? Is this a FAA building?
FAA. Yeah.
FAA building?
Before you start, can you tell us, how did you get from China to RPI?
Okay. The 1948, the communists started taking over China. My father, by being the president of a bank, he got money, they gave me $2,000. So I went to $2,000, went to Troy, New York to study. The reason Troy, New York is my father's friend, chief engineer of one engineering company, said this is a little school. He graduated from a school, very good one. However, it's in Troy, New York. I think your son would be good to study there. So I went over there. I studied civil engineering. Did not know about architecture. So I graduated civil engineering. And then I went to University of Michigan, studied civil again in a master's degree. After I came over here in 1960, I found out, wow, structural engineering only designed the inside, the structure. I like the outside. So I was architecture more interesting. So I asked my friend, what book do you study? I said, I studied this book, that book. I already had my office, engineer office. So I went to Holiday Inn, Detroit, for 2 weeks and studied that book they mentioned about, and I passed the exam. And because I was trying to get more time, I did not eat lunch, breakfast. So at nighttime, the hand is wiggling. When I draw the render, proper curved lines. But anyway, I passed. So that's what my architectural, I never studied it, but I did pass architecture exam. By knowing a structure engineer, I can design the form, design outside structure, that make more sense, you see. That's what I did.
And then after you graduated from University of Michigan, you stayed in Detroit and
I
worked
stayed
in
in Detroit. I stayed in Detroit for the Giffords and Valet architecture engineering office in Detroit. Designed a conventional hall. Of course, I designed structure only, no architecture. So that's what I did. So 1960, I came over here, opened my own office. So 59 was Statewood. 1960, it's a really good time. And I came over for another company. In 2 weeks, run out of salary. With 3 children, no salary. So I forced to open my own office. First job I designed is CQE Hot Building in downtown.
This one you did for who?
Did for the Yi Sing Chang.
Okay. Oh, do you want to talk about that one first?
Yeah, Yi Sing Chang. All these columns, I'm glad you took this way, of marble before. Even on the bottom of it, doesn't have the red dragon, gold dragon in the column. Pure white marble. Vandastri, the Italian guy, did the job. Very, very nice. That's what is my first job, 1960. The dragon looked like a snake, so the dragon is supposed to be no fatter, but nobody ever seen dragon before. In Western they have dragon, Eastern they have a dragon. So this is it. The whole thing is precast and fucking short. This is waffle constructions. It's a plastic forms. You put the compressed air, push the air out, push the form out. So that's what it did. Bank Hawaii building was at the corner.
And you said that Leo Wu did the interior for the Bank of
Leo Wu
Hawaii?
designed the job here. Leo Wu was very, very good architect. I admire his work. He did the building here. Later on, he went to the mainland. I think his son still practicing architecture. Leo passed away. But Leo was very, very beautiful designer, architect. I really like his work. Yeah.
Do you know how he came to Hawaii, Leo Wu?
Leo married one friend is from Honolulu. So I don't know how he's come to Hawaii, but he's worked on the mainland for very good architecture firm. I guess weather is so good, everybody come to Hawaii. That's all it is.
But I suspect since he was doing this for Bank of Hawaii, this is probably how he got the commission to do the Financial Plaza.
He did Financial Plaza. It's a
At the end
very
of the
beautiful
decade.
building. That's the service aggregate. Service aggregate, you cast the concrete and wash the cement away. So service reveal, the beauty of it reveal instead of fade, you know. So that's very genuine. I like his design very much, very, very much.
I worked in this building and at the headquarters back Hawaii.
You did.
So it's so funny that you're talking about it.
And also, did you notice the terrazzo floor? They don't make it anymore. It's very, oh, this one, oh, this is a peacock.
Now you said an Italian did that, but that's not Valdestri. Did Valdestri do the?
I think Valdestri did that.
He did the floor?
But it's very, very nice.
It wasn't this guy, Bozani.
Terrazzo floor.
Do you know that guy at all?
Bozani. Of course, Valdestri. Bozani might did the terrazzo.
Yeah.
A lot of them, yeah. Valdestri did the
Right.
precast concrete. Like a gold bond building, a fascia is precast concrete. Now they paint a different color. Original service aggregate. So that's what they did.
But the man Bozani who did the terrazzo floor, they actually brought him out. They encouraged him to come to Hawaii because they had no one doing it in Hawaii.
It's Italian. They're all really good on that. Airport is doing the terrazzo. I had the same contractor did the job for me in my whole house. My whole house is white terrazzo, white on white. Because white is translucent, you can see the depths of it instead of just like a linoleum flooring. It's very different. There's more reach to it.
Marble columns were never marble, or are they?
No, they were. Underneath.
They're actually all marble. All
chip.
marble chips. White marble chips. Now the paint is all red. I mean, but the owner have all the right, whatever they want to do. So that's what they painted. Yeah, original was just pure white marble.
So Carrara marble.
So, yeah, right.
It's one of
Michelangelo.
Okay. That's correct. Because you see the beauty of the marble, you see the chips, the one shines, and so it's very, very rich feeling you have.
Was the upturn always there?
Upturn, in other words, in Chinese structure, usually the temple, the line like this and very gracefully raise up a little bit, 1:3, 1:5 ratio. That's what goes up. So instead of very bluntly stopped, that's what they did.
Does that have a spiritual meaning to it?
No, it's not spiritual. Probably the feeling of the gracefulness.
Gracefulness.
Right? The form is very interesting. It's a metal dome with a hole in it. When you pour the concrete, you have no way to move the form. So they put the compressor, the whole thing dropped. So that's why the whole thing looks like a waffle. Waffle design is almost like two-way construction, like a joist. Two-way joists become waffle. So,
strong.
yeah, very strong.
Do you want to talk about the FAA building at all?
Oh, sure.
For a minute?
FAA building is the first one. I came here in 1960. Together with me is Bob Weiss. Bob Weiss, when we came together, in 2 weeks' time, our salary disappeared. So Bob Weiss opened his own office, architectural. I opened my office, structural engineer. So I designed this one in structural steel. At that time, structural steel was $250 per ton. And I don't know how much now, several thousand. And the only one who was making the structural steel at that time, Terminal Steel, Ray Ortez. And he's the one manufacturing that. See, he did a really good job. Not too many people using structural steel, so they died off for many years. Later on, when there's more men architect, engineers came. Now we have more structural steel building now, but not before. 1960s, hardly any. A Gold Bond building. Gold Bond building was Kurt Carson, the one that Gold Stamp. Remember many years ago? Kurt Carson owned many Radisson Hotel on the mainland. He worked 7 days a week. In his pocket, he said, it's gold. So every day he's working. He became a multi-billionaire very shortly, 7 days a week is a lot of work. It's amazing. He passed away quite young. His daughter take over. Maybe now the grandson take over. So that's a Gold Bond building. Original Gold Bond building was designed for a warehouse. So the vision is, in the front, they have small offices. On the back, maybe they have warehouse. And then all of a sudden, after the building finished, second floor and third floor rented to the Coast Guard. Coast Guard take 2 floors. And then if they take 2 floors, the rent income is quite good. So I rent the office there, 30 cents a square foot. Very cheap, 30 cents. Doesn't buy much now, And then they built the building up to the top, and then this top is added later, and then the Cantron building on the back, so we didn't go all together. There's a circular ramp, continue going up. It's actually like this, like this, like this, like this. But the speed ramp coming down It's continuously from 8th floor all the way down. So when you're in the hurry going down, very easily, you just go to the ramp, zoop, you come right down. It's the first circular ramp in Hawaii. And the bank, what is it? The bank one, First Hawaiian Bank, the one on downtown, Bishop Street, and the one, they want to have a design of the circular ramp. They want to pay me $1,000 to design. I said, no, thank you. This is like a speed ramp, you know. So they have a ramp, but not a very like that. This is, you're in a hurry going down, it's very easy. And on top is like a dome.
Oh,
Yeah,
there.
like a waffle. Waffles because make you hungry. Make you light the construction.
Yeah, so you'd actually drive up floor by floor, but then come down on the ramp.
Yeah, when you come down when you're in a rush, you come right down. But inside the helix is another one. It's a, when you go up, it's continual. When you come down, it's one continual loop. It's the first spiral ramp in Hawaii, the first one to build it.
And we did have this to introduce the talk, the Gold Bond building. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the middle, Peter has a courtyard.
There's a courtyard in the middle. And the idea is office building, supposed to be warehouse in the front, become office, and the back is really parking. They used to have a plank that crossed in the middle. I sometimes want to borrow some block, I have to walk that way. Very dangerous. Yeah, so this is a program working, right?
There's another view.
Right.
Waipahu Tower?
Oh, Waipahu Tower. Waipahu, I got to tell you some story about Waipahu Tower. Waipahu Tower. A friend of mine, Meatpack Lumber Company, Wallace Lai, very, very generous, very nice person. And he had 6 lots. He said, Peter, so you're in the design, why don't you buy the lot? So I said, no, you don't need any money. All you need is lot. You can get government finance, FHA 236 program. So that means they pay you for developer's fee, architect's fee. By owning the land, you can do the things free. During those times, FHA program, a lot of them. So Wallace said, well, I'm in the construction business. I want to sell material. Why don't you buy the lot? So I bought the lot. So I put up the Waipahu Tower. And then before that, I was in the downtown, what is the restaurant? Fisherman's Wharf.
Okay.
Fisherman's Wharf. So I had a lunch down there. I said, well, if I want to design something, why don't I invent something? So I invented double I block, concrete block, double I, which look like an H, I. All the cells are lined up. Usually it's block, concrete block, the cells very little. You never line up. My block is like an H. Well, let me see. Oh, like this. Can you see on the bottom of it?
Oh, yes.
On the bottom of it, it's called double I. Double I, that means double I, and double I, if you, each one will be all lined up. So the block itself have a shelf for the temperature steel for the vertical dot to come in. So all you have to do is glue together. You put one block together, one row, epoxy 2 beads, and set it on top. In 1 hour, the whole thing separated. And then you plant the steel in, you put the pea gravel in, and the whole thing is grouted. So you can put it up 2 floors, 3 floors per day. Keep on going. So the form will be there. So Waipahu Tower was built in 2 weeks' time.
What? Wow.
And I did not, yeah.
In Hawaii.
The flooring usually people using 4 inches floor. But I check on the code, you do not need 4 inches, 3.5 inches is enough. The reason they need 4 or more, because the reinforcing bar cross each other, getting indentment. So instead of using reinforcing bar, I use wire mesh. I put wire mesh in the middle, I put wire mesh in the 4 corners. So very quickly, 2 floors per week, just keep on going. And so I put it up, and I actually it's low-cost housing. So I paid everybody down payment. I give down payment free. All the tenants have no money, so they become FHA program. Since I give them 25% each one free, so the government subsidizes it. So now they become owners, all of them. You see. Yeah. So that's what it is. The whole thing is glued together with epoxy, and nobody using the epoxy before. But epoxy is something you can never dissolve it. It's very strong. My house is using the same block, using the same epoxy, glued together my whole house, but still standing. My wife can tell.
So, did you have trouble finding contractor to build with epoxy?
No problem, because I own a contractor firm. So, he actually, they built it. They built this one, he built my own house. They call it Oceanic Construction. Yeah. Oh, Alexander Arm is the same, but it's glued together with epoxy. Right. Al Malco owned it. Al Malco. Looked like an American electric company. Well, and
And they hired you to do it.
they hired me to do the job. Too bad I did not buy a unit. That's very
Where is this?
Alexander and Bingham.
that's what I do. The whole thing is a epoxy panel. We put the whole panel together and lift the whole thing up. And then all the panels are put on ground. Usually, concrete has to have forms, vertical forms. And this one here, just lay it, we just lift it up very quickly. I did a cold storage that's also chilled out. You know, pour it right on the ground and lift it up with a bomb breaker, almost like a butter. You butter the pour and lift it up.
Is this the one? I didn't know if this is the right one. Is this the tilt up you did?
No problem, I designed 4 of them, so it's all mine.
Oh, okay.
I designed 4 of them. So each panel is like that. Each panel is this very big. Right here is a panel. The panel are poured in here. We put the concrete floor first, put bomb breaker, and then pour this, look like a tofu. You know, each one is poured 4.5 inches thick, and then you put bomb breaker, and after the whole thing, you just lift it up. After lift it up, you pour the column, the pilaster, the whole thing come up very quick. You can, in 2 weeks' time, the whole thing just come up. Yeah, it's called tilt up. Tilt up construction.
And Peter was so good with this one, they sent you to the mainland to build there too.
I
as
did
well.
Philadelphia, Peoria, Illinois, and Guam, and Omaha, Nebraska. I think I did 7 or 8 of them. And the clients is very nice. We did many things together. We did one even in Guam. Yeah, Louis E. Smith, his football player, American football player.
Was this with your construction company too?
Oh no. Chris McNeely from Oakland, and my company only did my own work.
Oh.
But this one here is, you imagine here, it's very interesting. You see this wall is poured here. Of course you have the floor first. This one is poured here. So after the pour, with just like a, tofu, you just peel them up, put it up, and then the form you poured in, the whole thing finished already.
And so you make the hole for the door and everything when you're pouring?
The door is polka, it's opening.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's what they did, yeah.
And that works fine in cold weather where it freezes and.
Anywhere. Well, anywhere, the only reason they're not using it, a lot of people not using it, they're not practicing whatever more easier way. This is the easier way. That's costly. Imagine if you have to pour concrete with concrete form here, concrete form there, you put concrete in, you have to use vibrators. This way you just pour on the ground, just lift it up one at a time. Very easy. I mean, yeah. I did the Hawaii Kai, the Hawaii National Bank building.
You're welcome.
This is actually 2 floors in one concrete pour. One concrete pour. The whole thing was poured, and 2 days the whole building is operating.
Wow.
Yeah. So even 2 floors altogether. Yeah. Yeah. In other words,
So what do the white,
the feet.
they're just holding it together?
No, the feet is for the sun.
Oh, that's all,
For
just
the sun,
sunscreen?
yeah, like a sunscreen.
And how are they supported?
The thing is your arm. You support by your wall, and then you reach out. This is part of it altogether, and one time. So the whole thing has come up in 2 days. The whole building up in 2 days. Can you imagine? You have to form it. How much concrete? How much wood you have to use? If you pour on the ground, it's easy. Just like a tofu, you cut like that, and then you lift it up. That's the way it is. I'm so glad you found all this.
Who really told me about it?
This is Magellan. I developed Magellan actually. And later on, I'm an architect now, for many years. I noticed before, architect not supposed to be developer. And then later on, after I finished this and read it, they changed now. The architect said, well, if anybody else be developer, why can't the architect be? But it was 10 years too late. I did before that time.
This is 1969.
Can you? Yes.
How did you finance the construction? You pre-sold the condominiums, or?
Pre-sold the condominium. You see, basically it's this one here. You have to have money. All you need is money to buy the land. That's all you need. Because all of the architect fee can be very high. That's become part of project cost. So the land cost, project cost, administration cost, your condominium cost, you put them all together, you go to the bank. Since you are the architect you own, you don't pay yourself, that's become part of your equity. So all I did is buy the land and put up a whole building. And
Is that all you did?
I don't have money, but that's all I did. All you need is buy the land. Can you imagine how much I sold the building for? $30,000 legal.
Oh my God.
$100,000 feet simple. Now it's worth about $450,000 now. 75 units, all of them. So quite a bit. But luckily I kept a few. My father was a banker. Yeah. When I came, I only have $2,000, 1948. When I came to this Honolulu, I have 3 children there, still 2,000. So no money to go back. So that's good.
Did your contracting company build this building too? Or were you out of contracting by then?
I think it's Tower Construction, whatever it is, did the job. I forgot now. name of it. The reason for this one here is I don't want the people that they're able, no privacy to see each other. So I put a thing here, and I put something in here, so additional protection. So this is actually the nice side here, so people can lie down at some bed without other people, still have a privacy. So that's what I did.
Is that precast?
Yeah, the precast, yeah. The thing are precast, yeah.
Yeah. I like their parking. He has some breezy blocks, which people like.
Oh, yeah,
And
thank
then
you.
it screens the pool.
I'm glad to take a photo. And also, at that time, nobody put any storage area. This got a big storage on the ground floor.
Oh.
So you can have so that's very interesting. Olympic-sized pool. Incidentally. Yeah. That's a back of it, right?
Yes. That's just simple engineering. I don't know. This looks nice. I'll throw a picture in.
You're right.
Simple.
It's a little bit decorative coming down. I did in other words, on the culture center, I did 2 buildings there too.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy.
But this is great. This is good. Okay. Franklin Tower. Oh, Franklin has 40-story building. This 40-story.
This is in Salt Lake.
This is one elevator lobby with 2 elevators, and it's 2 units per floor. Each person has a private elevator. And when the building finished, I should have bought one. They didn't sell. The time was bad, so they're trying starting from 79,000. Now it's about 430,000. So, and 40-story building. And the reason 40-story building is 100 room have a rule, 320 feet is the limit. The limit cannot go higher. So that's 320 feet. So now the Kakao is getting higher than that now. But it's good buy. They have an activity room and everything else. They're starting out with 79,000.
Wow.
Time was bad. So
Yeah, it was what, 81, I think.
the oil war, the Iraq war, oil embargo. So that's what it is.
But I like it because you have staggered. It's like,
Stagger, you do not see each other.
the 2 units both facing out?
That's right. Both facing the Salt Lake. You see the Salt Lake without see each other too close to each other. You can see the Salt Lake. And so this one here, this is more expensive. This one is Lakeview, very cheap. I designed several of them. Also another one is Metro Horizon Tower.
I think I have pictures of that one.
Horizon Tower, yeah.
And this one, I sort of like the entryway, the way he handled that. Then from the entry, whoops, you have
Yeah.
an arcade to go to
Okay,
the...
go in there. You can just drive around.
And then also, I'm surprised, a lot of the lot is parking. Yeah?
Yes, right. All the parking lot on the back of it.
Yes, I was surprised. Oh, so small. So many times now they put them in the building.
That's right. So this is, because on the bottom of the building are landscaped area with activity room. So your living area have all the amenities, and parking is separate, you see, right?
Here's Horizon View.
Horizon Tower, right? Oh, that's Horizon Tower. And very interesting, this penthouse got a sloping floor. There's one of the unit. I own one of the unit. It's a penthouse unit. It's quite interesting, you see, because the top of the staircase is platform. It's within the penthouse unit, so you can have a little area you can do meditation, with the patio ready to go. Okay, Sandra, oh, you got that too?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I went there, it's special.
Oh, wow. That's a $5 hotel. Wow, you're really thorough.
Thank Rosanna.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So how did you get this job?
The Japanese came. They want to interview 5 architects for the job. So they went to all the famous architects. You know, when they got all the famous architects, you know, the Japanese architects, Japanese owners, and they're out for lunch. So the secretary did not give a message. So they came 2 times. They're so frustrated. So they came to my office Sunday, and I was there. The reason I felt, because somebody told me they come in for the interviewing. So I spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and work out a program. In case I get the job, what should I do? What do I do with interior? Work with the interior designer. What do I do with the sound expert and all those? So my wife said, why do you spend all the Sunday time, overtime, doing all kinds of stuff? What for? I said, well, I don't know. But anyway, so here comes Sunday, he came. And I was in the office. And we talked 3 hours. And I said, join me for the beer. So I went to this hotel. I got the job. So that's Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Dhaka, Bangladesh. Dhaka is Bangladesh, the poorest country in the world. Used to have flood all the time, you see. But because of money from Japan, so they want to put up the best hotel in the capital. So that's the hotel, Pan Pacific Hotel, Bangladesh.
Yeah, I was surprised when I found the pictures on the internet. It's a 5-star hotel, but $150 a night.
It's the poorest country in the world. Yeah, it's one of the poorest one. This is you see like a Muslim type of pavilion, and then the water fountain all over the place, and water pool, reflecting pool. And yeah.
Were they giving you, were you just thinking these ideas up, or were they telling you, oh, we want this, we want that?
They want something, and then we dream up with ideas.
Okay.
And my office used to have only 10 people. All of a sudden become 25. So people say, oh, you got 25? Okay. But anyway, so they all worked on the job. It's very interesting. And
So you did the structure and the architecture?
I did the structure and architecture and interior.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is called the Oasis. It's for your wedding. Did you design that, or that's something they stuck in after you're gone?
We designed part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand. It said it's 22 acres? Or is it?
Very big. It's a big land. Very big land. That's all flooded all the time. Bangladesh is the poorest country in the world. So they're building this one here.
So that's what we have.
Japanese money.
Does anybody have any questions they want to ask Peter?
Tokyo Construction did the job. So they went over, built for 2 years, you see. I went over there every so often, you know, check on the job.
Peter, what was the last building you worked on?
Last building.
Was it just
When did I retire?
Peter, did you design your own house?
2008.
Oh, my wife didn't want me to clean the house, but the house is very interesting. I designed my own house. Very interesting. The reason I'm saying that is usually you have a ceiling, you have a beam, you have a column. I said, why do we have to have column? So I have a sliding door. So I said, this window, this door, why can't you become my column? So that's part of the mullions, they call it. Mullions like this and like a U channel. So I put the U inside. So in my house, there's no columns. The whole wall just goes right out. All the glass is all from floor to ceiling, from side to side. Because It does work because I asked the millions to work for me, but it's skinny columns, very skinny. I want to bring the book to show you, my wife said, don't show off. I did not bring it, but it's very interesting, all different.
Can we look it up on the internet?
I also designed the carpet. Carpet usually is one level. My carpet is three-dimensional. When you barefoot step on it, you can feel high, low, high. And also if you're a weightlifter in the gym, if you paint the wall pink, you cannot have strength. Anybody weightlifter? So I paint my ceiling pink. So when the guests come, they sit down and totally relaxed.
So pink doesn't relax.
Yeah, you're correct. Pardon?
The lighting is pink on the ceiling.
The lighting is pink color. In other words, I use the pink color light is for the landscape, for the plants. If they're good for the plants, it's good for us. So I have all the pink color plant light. And of course, it's reflective light. You do not see the light bulbs, but you see the reflection in the ceiling, you see. So that's what it is.
So then the company leaves, they're relaxed, the white lights go on, and you get busy.
Oh, also my own construction company built it. It takes 2 years to build because I'm fussy as a woman. The edge of the roof is not straight. Take it out. I finished 75. At that time, it cost $400,000. At that time.
And where is it?
Diamond Head. On the top of Diamond Head. You know the Warren Luke's house and all this, the one on the top level? And so I was on there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you also did Warren's house too.
I did Warren's too, yeah. I did Warren's on the split level. I did the Warren's, I did his father's KJ down below. Did the Warren, did mine.
Hawaii National Bank.
Hawaii National, I did Hawaii National Bank, yeah.
And you have something between the wall and the roof too. You were mentioning to me the other day. You have space or something.
The joists coming out, and then the goes extended out to the lanai. So there's no beam coming down. And then, so at the fascia of the beam, there's a hole there, and this air will go into the ceiling space, like air space. So if you have air, that's like an insulation. That's what it is. You see. Instead of putting a lot of insulation, it's airspace in there.
As I was checking before you started talking, if you're comfortable talking about what happened to your Gold Bond building recently, the renovation, would you mind sharing your philosophy about skins and purity?
In other words, usually if you do the cosmetic surgery, you want the patients to look still the same, look like a natural growth of it. So now they have different patches, So the eyeglass was dark color rather than the glass. Now it's blue.
Yeah.
Some of it blue. And I think different philosophy. They want to say, now I made a change. So my philosophy is the change has to be gradual. And then I will respect other people's design. If I change it, I will make their essence still continue. That's my feeling, you see. But other people want a statement. Now I made the change. Original glass is black. Now I blue. Some of them blue, some are still black. You see.
I first met Peter. He was responsible for the rehabilitation of McKinley High School's administration building and auditorium. That's when I first met you. So he was very sensitive on that building to keeping the cosmetics.
But McKinley High School has the best auditorium. Sound, its acoustic value is very good. So instead of do something, we keep the acoustic value instead of I change it now. Can you see? That's the reason I think the change has to be a reasonable change. It's not just I step in and change everything. You see? If it's good, keep it. If not good, improve it. You see?
Is there any considerations that have to be given with the salt air on the island during these constructions of massive, buildings, concrete, and also the metal and that type of thing that you use?
Oh yes.
And how different is that?
No. That's a very good question, because on the salt air will eat up even aluminum, but certain aluminum anodized have a little more stronger behavior. So it's you have to consider the use of it in the climate zone. Very important. Like in Guam, when we designed it, even stainless steel will not stand. The only thing stand is plastic. Yeah. So in the Guam design, we have to have plastic sliding door, plastic windows. You see. Yeah. I did some job in Guam, and Nimitz Tower, I designed it. That's the precast concrete. We tilt it up. So they never seen anything. How come so quick? 2 weeks, 3 weeks old and building up, And I did something like that. Yeah.
So what happens to glass in Guam?
Earth, they had gone through an earthquake. The one that I designed it gone through without the cracks, because the panel itself is precast concrete, but all the steel dowels coming up. So you join them together and pour it, so the whole thing becomes solid. And because of a typhoon, very severe one, ordinary block, they'll seep through. See? Because the reason for this concrete block is like that. Concrete block is like that. In between you put mortar, 3/8-inch mortar. Mortar is not strong, it's weak. You put a strong one here, a strong one here, and weak joint here, and you keep on stacking them. So my thought is, why doing that? Why don't you have a strong one here with epoxy here, put this together with epoxy, the whole thing very solid? Because in the mortar is the weakest point. Because block to block epoxy, the whole thing is one entity, very strong. But not too many people using epoxy. I wonder why, you see.
Is it a lot more expensive or no?
Oh no, it's faster and easy. I had a patent of the block and using epoxy, but nobody seems to bother to use it. It's free, they can use it. Yeah.
So all the buildings in the photo, they use the epoxy system?
Yeah, and Alexander R was epoxy. The Waipahu Tower was epoxy. Quick and strong, and no agent would dissolve it. So actually, it's same thing like Machu Picchu stone in South America. And how does this rock go to the rock? It's not a mortar. It's touch each other. So like a gray wall, it's not a mortar. It's a mochi rice. No volume together.
So like this is Alexander Arms. So all the joints, that's all epoxy?
Yeah, because we make a backward to look like a joint. It's really just we look like a joint. So in other words, this looks like a joint, but there's no joint. It's backward just for the look. So it's all glued together with epoxy.
So how thick is the epoxy from black to black? Like
epoxy it's a liquid.
Right.
It's like a glue. When you smear it together, there's no volume.
So there's no volume to it?
No, it's just contact. It's just contact.
But then you build it up to make it that thick to look like
No, you backward. Backward to say
the block is beveled.
Backward block is beveled. Just to make sure I'm conventional. I'm conventional. So but if I do not go straight, and any unevenness you see, so I just faked that. The state tile made it for me.
Oh, okay. That's what
State tile made it for me. But but even now, if you have a design, they will make a mold for you. The reason is not too many people want to make a design is they just use a regular 8 by 16 cinder block, that's what it is. Nobody uses concrete block, but you use concrete block, it's much better. Because cinder block is as strong as a mortar. Mortar is very weak. Yeah. So you touch together, it's much better.
Those look like very big blocks. What's scale on the block?
It's actually 8 by 16, it's the same, because of photograph. So, in other words, because of the epoxy, you do not purposely accentuate its joints, that's what it is. We could have whole thing smooth, but you need a joint to show it's a block. Yeah.
Do you get high from using that epoxy?
It's going to smell it.
No, in half an hour, 20 minutes is gone already. They have epoxy gun. We just sprayed it like a toothpaste. The gun can be 2 beaded ones. Like that. Yeah, very, very quick, you see. And the owner is very good. It's Almanco, Panfelio. And so Panfelio asked me to design it. So he doesn't mind I make something new. So that's what I did.
Did you say Panfelio?
Panfelio.
The electric guy?
American Electric.
Yeah. Did you build his house?
No. The Panfelio, now there's American Electric, is another person now. And they take it the same way.
We know Panfelio. He did a house on Kailua Beach. Did you plan that?
No, I didn't. But I designed his building here, yes. But too bad I didn't buy any units here. He had a hard time to sell it.
Oh, really?
So does that freeze and thaw also? With that kind of adhesion? So you did some in Illinois, right? And used the same process?
No, he used tilt-ups.
I use tilt-up.
Oh, you used tilt-ups.
Yeah, tilt-up. The reason the tilt-up is this, in the cold story construction, they have a total airtight. Any air leak inside will froze up. So that means I use in the panel pour on floor, instead of form here, form there, I just have a concrete slab here and spray the silicone bond breaker and have edge forms, 4 inches, 5 inches edge form, and just pour on top. After this, spear another one and pour another one, and then keep on peeling off. So one form on the ground, the whole thing come out. Actually, as a matter of fact, they pour each one here on the ground, and then they
By
put
come
the
up,
cover.
you have a crane that picks it up.
Yeah, it's actually, they have a crane with a little strong bag, like this. But once we break the bond, the whole thing lifts up right away, you see. Yeah. But there's one building in New Wanu, they use the tilt up, but they did not use correctly. 4 or 5 stick together. they couldn't get them off, so they have to drill holes, put the little dynamite, bloop, and then they peel it out. So that means you have to have a bond breaker.
And so they specially made the block for you.
Yes, State Town made a tie for us here.
It's not that much more expensive than a regular block?
No, they just have a mold.
Okay.
But not too many people want to trim their own block.
Okay.
And so if I have a special design, they'll make a special form. And it's very easy. And they make the corner form and everything according to yours. But not too many people really want to jump out to make their own block design, you see. So that's what it is. Everybody follows the same way. And everybody have the 7/8 block, 3/8 joint, 7/8 block, 3/8 joint. Because that's what they learn in school. I never learned in school because I never. So that's a problem. Never come to school. But I did pass the architecture exam though.
So this technique, Peter, is it durable in an earthquake situation?
You have no agent able to dissolve it. So it's as strong as the material itself. So if you break a block first before the joint. Just like a marriage is so strong, no divorce.
So there's vertical reinforcing?
Oh, reinforcing, I'm glad you mentioned about it. And the block itself is like that.
Okay.
It's double I. And I asked my wife, I want to bring it. She said, no, don't bring it. The block itself have a V. On the I have a V there, so there's a horizontal steel there. All the horizontal steel. Horizontal steel called temperature steel. And then they put vertical steel there for the regular reinforcing. And put it in. And then they do not do the regular way. They put the block first, and they planted the reinforcing steel in. They put the pea gravel. They put the whole thing inside. The whole thing fill up. Very fast. Instead of pour, you can never pour the inside because the hole is not that big. But if you have a hose coming in with pea gravel, it's very easy to do that. So that's what it is. I want to bring the block. It's very unique. The block itself, I invented block. You can look at the internet to find out it's double I block patent by Peter Shi, but it's patent free. Anybody can use it. But anyway, it's very interesting. They have a shelf inside for the horizontal steel. All the cells line up. Regular block, there's small holes and big holes, small holes. This is all the same size. I call it double I. When you put two I together, another I, then everything will match it. All line up, everything lined up. Yeah.
So you invented the new assembly method. Did you have trouble with the building department?
No,
convincing them?
Because they never asked me how to build it. So very quickly it's come up. See? Can you imagine if you pour for cold storage, a concrete water like that, you put a form here 20 feet high, and pour it concrete in. So it's so much easier. You have pavement already. You just put in here like a tofu. Cheesecake. You just 4 inches like that. You just pour it. After pour it, you spray it. You pour another layer. So each one just peel off. As a matter of fact, just continue to pour, continue to lift it up. It's called tilt-up construction, but very easy. And ordinary forms so expensive. You see, vertical. You have vibrator. You have this. If you pour on the ground, so easy. Yeah. So my thing is this way. In school, you don't learn those. You learn the regular conventional way. And but most architects are artistic. They do not want to do engineering. The engineering does not want to advise them how to do differently. So since I'm architect engineer, so it doesn't matter. So.
Do you want to talk about your pictures?
Oh, please.
This is the gold bond building. Oh, I designed that first.
Okay, we'll put that up first.
Yeah. This is Magellan.
Oh, okay.
I designed this building in 1969. Actually, not only designed it, I bought the land first. And then I said, well, since I bought the land, I'm the architect. Why don't I become a developer also? So I developed that too. And at that time, the architectural policies, architect should never be a developer. 1969, they said, architect should keep his hand clean. Let a developer be developer before working for developer. I did not read the law too good. Since at that time I wasn't an architect, so I didn't read the bylaw. So I developed that. Later I became architect, read it, was like, whoa, my God.
By the time you had your own construction company too, did the were architects allowed to build also? Because I know like in the 30s and 40s they weren't.
They don't. Number one, they do not allow architect to be developer. Number two, builder. Oh, no. But actually, why not? I mean, if a builder can build, we can build too, right? I mean, I'm just saying that. All of you are very architect, you know, and it's same way, same construction. As a matter of fact, you know better. So this is 69 developed that. And I bought the land and start condominium. Condominium means you can own one unit, like a drawer, you can pull them out. If you want to finance that, you know, go up if you cannot pay for the whole thing foreclosure. You have to buy the whole thing. This one's each one like a slab. That's what condominium. This is the first condominium started in Hawaii. Magellan. I sold it 30,000 leasehold. Later I sold 100,000 feet. So now it's $450,000, 75 units total. Luckily I kept a few.
Smart move.
But these I kept, I couldn't sell it.
Oh, the truth comes out.
This is a gold-bound building. Now it's different, you know. The new architect want to design something different, you know. So they changed the color of the face and everything else. But it's just a speed ramp. The difference is a helix. Helix is one that, like a speed coming down, just goes through, you continue, you don't wait anybody, just come right down. But the first, in between the helix, is the first ramp that go up. Once when they go up, you keep on winding, but you come down there.
Yeah. So as you go up, you can park.
You can park anywhere. The ground is continuous. Slope, flat, slope, flat. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Do you do the renderings, or you have somebody in your office?
Somebody that did rendering, yeah. Somebody that did rendering.
I thought since you did everything else.
You see this one is like that. You see on the back of it, the taller, it's a Cantron building. Cantron is the government contractor, cannot own real estate. So the Cantron said, can the go-round owner, can you buy my land, build it, and lease back to me? So we made this construction blend together. The problem is, after I build this, when the Cantron comes, I have to extend the parking. There's one column right in the middle. I couldn't go through. So I said, well, your column is in the way. Cut it. I mean, it's not as easy. So we calculate all the road coming down maybe 1/4 inch. And then what we did is we cut it, the whole thing comes down, and we jack it up and patch it. So that's what the Cantron side linked together as one unit. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me think of one other thing I want to
Each panel is a precast. So very easy to install. And the glass are dark color, same glass. Now you know this blue color, because new architect like the blue. So there's black and blue.
There was an article that came out in the Hawaii Business and Industry in 1965 talking about Peter's work on the tilt-ups. But I found it very interesting. They mentioned the FAA building, and in that it says, she came up with what he says he's sure is a hitherto untried technique for employing a computer to figure out the complex stresses and pressures on a structure supporting columns, and thus determine the optimum thickness and required strength of the material used in their construction. He says it can save the engineer weeks of slide rule calculations and lessen the chance of mistakes. That's 1965. What computer were you using?
One laboratory. At that time, it cost $30,000 for a computer. Computer has an operator, have punch cards. So very antique, very antique. In order to do the the government project, you have to have one laboratory and to match their system. So we bought that one in order to synchronize with the Air Force, Coast Guard, and Navy and Army. So we work on many projects with them. Yeah. And now it's so simple. We have just I want to talk creativity because all you are architect and engineer. My thought is we can create our own idea. We do not have to follow the old format. So if you're creative, you can dream of new ideas. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. Like a Mitsubishi, what do you call that, South America, all this stone are hard, they fit each other. Like the Great Wall of China glued together with mochi rice. So now, several thousand years later, I use epoxy. That's the same thing. So basically, what is that? No gap joints. Stone to stone, block to block, without the joints. Because the joint is the weakest joint. The joint is not as strong as a concrete block. Concrete block, there are two types. One is cinder block, which is very light. One is concrete block, which is stronger. But the mortar in between is the weakest one. Why can't the mortar eliminate using glue block to block? It's much efficient. But in school, we never learned that, so nobody using it. And I using this, still nobody using it. I mean, so that's really what it is.
Guam has the test.
Guam had a typhoon, and I designed 4 buildings in the Tamuin area, and the 4 buildings never had any leaks because I did differently. Instead of using water, I glued together the whole thing is one entity. I did Nimitz Tower area with high rise on the Navy and high rise on that. So the construction basically, and not too many people are using the new one. They always use forms and pour concrete. So if you can pour on the ground and lift it up, so much easier, so much quicker. The whole building can come in a couple of weeks. And also, everybody using structural steel for the reinforcing steel. That means they put the temperature steel, regular reinforcing steel. The one is not facing the regular one, it's temperature steel. And in my Waipahu tower, I'm never using reinforcing steel. I use wire mesh. It's all pre-welded together. Just one panel in the positive side, and the negative side is negative reinforcing with the small patches there. And so quick. It was 5 years just later. You can pour 2 floors, 2 to 3 floors per week very easily. The whole thing can come up very quick.
Oh, something else reminds me of now, Peter, you mentioned. Talk about your water problem on CQ Yeehaw. Where you had, because it was so close to the, for pouring the...
CQ is, because CQ building, I'm so glad you mentioned that. CQ building is, the foundation is very near the water level. Near water level, so you might as well utilize water to its own benefit. So what I did is, we dig a foundation, I'm just talking about 5 by 5 by 18 inches or 20 inches, and then pretty soon the groundwater fill up. So by the time you pour the concrete, the water fill up just like agent, which is very nice, curing, water curing. So we keep on pouring, we keep on filling up with water. So alternating. So the whole thing is very easily constructed and a very efficient way. You do not have to do dewatering whatsoever. On the mainland, there's a lot of dewatering problem. We build a lot of buildings with big foundation, like K-San. The material is clay, so we have to dig down 80 feet with auger, come down with steel casing, and hire the people from Philadelphia, the miners' children, they're very strong. They go down and dig it up from the 30-inch diameter. They dig up the bigger foundation. You see. One time, nobody watching, the water flooded, so the person died. So finally, they have one person working, two people watching, take turns, and they hired the people from the East Coast, minus children, they're very strong. That's called bell construction, KSA. 30-inch diameter go down, and they dig it up the foundation. Yeah. Because the material usually is clay. The clay layer on the bottom is strong, on the top is not strong. So different type of foundation.
Anybody else have any questions?
Any questions?
If not, thank you so much, Peter. That was nice. Good. We can eat and drink some. And Lisa Marie, or Glenn, how long is, what time they close the parking lot?
It's open, the validation room for 2 hours.
So the validation will run out around, 2 hours. Thank you.
Thank you for
Every time I learn.